confused.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Something Super Podcast. I'm Steve.
Mark.
And I'm John.
And guys, as always, catch us on social media at Something Super Podcast on Instagram and Facebook and all of your major streaming apps. So this week we wanted to talk about something that actually just dropped within the past, 24 to 48 hours, the new Morbius trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to officially introduce vampires into the MCU, which is huge because if you think back to the 90s, we had Blade the Vampire Hunter. So, without saying it, I think that's
Which
the
is on the
direction we're
docket.
going. Yes, exactly. So we're going in that direction again.
Save the
that's-
Marvel universe in movies anyway.
Absolutely. I'm all about it. And although Jared Leto is not the best Joker, I like him as Morbius.
So far, it looks like, he looks pretty good in it.
It looks fucking great. Mark?
Me personally, a lot of people didn't like him as a Joker, but that was more like directional. Like, I feel like he wasn't allowed to have like much creativity and shit. Like, I know he stayed like in character on set, but like he looks like it's gonna be just like a whole different tone of a movie. And like you said, this could lead into so many things. You get Vulture in this trailer. You see Spider-Man. So the question is, which Spider-Man universe is he actually in? And then, God, just straight up lost my train of thought mid-sentence. Just hit that roadblock. Oh, and then I said Blade, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, he could literally introduce so many characters that it's like ridiculous. And he's such an OP character, too.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I love the fact that they sort of like had a more of a dive in piece to like what his powers are. And again, they didn't give you all of it. They just like barely scratched the surface, but he even says it. He's like, it's a bat-like sonar. I have increased strength and speed and all of these things. And then it really gets into like I'm thirsting for blood. And I think that's a cool thing to have as his, sort of internal struggle. I'm a doctor, so I'm not supposed to hurt people. I'm supposed to help people.
Right.
But I'm also a vampire, so I must drink blood and potentially kill in order to survive. So where's your moral high ground? So I think that's one of my favorite parts of Dr. Morbius's, internal fight that he's going to have throughout the entire movie. And obviously, we know that the vampire side takes over. So, but yeah, for me, I'm very excited for this movie. It looks really well written. I think the fact that you said the Vulture is going to be in it is huge. Because again, that's something from Spider-Man universe that we didn't really see like the tying up at the end of. He went to jail and then it sort of trails off to like to be seen again eventually, and this might be it.
Right. And I feel like if they're going like Sinister Six, they're really giving you teasers for who it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Like the number 6. Obviously there's the whole post-credit scene and Venom and Carnage. Now you have Morbius straight up just name dropping fucking
Venom.
Yeah,
like
they did mention. Yeah,
That was hilarious.
There's a lot of shit going on. So
like he sees Vulture, he mentions Venom. Like they're really getting ready to drop people in the universe, which means X-Men can't be far behind, and mutants, and
that's actually something I'm really looking forward to, is getting the X-Men in there. I mean, again, we've had our talks about potential mutant sightings throughout all of the series so far, but yeah, I think now that we're really into, Marvel sort of owning all of those rights and the names, but since we're, touching on the Spider-Verse, what are your thoughts about the third Andrew Garfield movie?
What?
And Sony reprising their technical rights as long as they finish the trilogy.
What? When did this come up?
This
Is this
past week.
recent?
Yep.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, they want to make a third Andrew Garfield movie because Sony only loses the rights if they don't make a movie every X amount of years.
Yep.
So all this does is puts a dampen on Marvel, and now Marvel's going to be kind of shit out of luck as far as owning a Spider-Verse in that regard until Sony's time runs out again. unless they figure out a deal in between them. But I know Sony wants to capitalize. But Andrew Garfield wasn't even happy with how the Spider-Man role shook out. So unless they like offered him more money or something else, I don't know how that would have played in his favor.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's not confirmed, but if he pops up in the new Spider-Man movie in the Marvel universe, that could have been part of the deal. Like, hey, look, we'll give you the third movie if you come back and do it, and you'll get to be in like the Marvel universe technically, because then that opens the door for him to kind of, if they do like a multiverse type of thing, they could bring him back and however the hell they want to do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's the only thing that upsets me is it's a power play by Sony that is only going to hinder Marvel's forward movement of that character.
I mean, let's be honest. It's only a matter of time before Disney just straight up buys like Fox and Sony and just gets all their characters back.
I mean, yeah, that's probably true, to be honest with you. I think a big thing, like you said, at the Venom Carnage, I think there is more of a symbiotic relationship between Sony and Marvel currently. Because now for now, you're correct, but we have Venom watching a TV that Tom Holland is on. So we know they're in the same universe. However, that shook out, whatever, but that's a big step. And obviously in Morbius, they were like all that shit that went down in San Francisco. Like they're talking about Venom, like that's Venom. Yeah. So, this is as I put it before, a symbiotic relationship. So, Marvel is essentially the Venom character to Sony currently. They are making all of the parts move because I hate to say it, like we can look at the Sam Raimi as some solid Spider-Manning, but Andrew Garfield, who was a good Spider-Man, not a great Peter Parker. And that's why they did 2 movies. It was okay. It could have been better.
They need to just kind of like stick to like one villain or 2 at most.
Yeah.
They don't make like that's what happened with Sam Raimi was he started throwing Venom and Sandman and all these other characters all
too many
in like
per movie. Yep.
Yeah.
And then that started to happen in the second one with Andrew Garfield. You had Electro, and then on top of that,
Rhino.
I wanted to see the Rhino fight, honestly, because we haven't really gotten Rhino yet in any of the Spider-Verses.
Yeah.
I don't really like Andrew Garfield's Rhino, to be honest with you. I mean, I feel like it's more of a mechanical than I'm used to watching the Rhino. I'm used to the more
basically Hulk with a horn.
Exactly. Not this whole mechanical, like where you notice it's mechanical. I mean, obviously there's some sort of mechanical with Rhino anyway, but like, Rhino is Rhino. He's a Rhino human. That's who he is, and that's what I'm so used to seeing. That Rhino, although the actor is perfectly hilarious.
He's just a straight idiot. Like that's the best part.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the comics, like Rhino's a dumbass.
Yes, exactly. A dumbass brute is what he is. I got all this technology, and I just think it's more of a what is it? Who's the other guy?
Electro.
Not Electro.
Lizard.
Domehead. What's his name?
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Yes, just like Juggernaut. How Juggernaut is that big, massive dude, right? He's huge, right? We all remember him as a huge guy with that big ass.
Yeah.
Steel head of his. That's kind of how I see also Rhino. Maybe a little bit smaller, but just this big, massive dude, mechanically improved, but not just like that Andrew Garfield one. That just doesn't.
Well, yeah, I mean that was just like a regular sized dude in a giant mecha suit. Which I mean, again, if they did it right, I wouldn't be upset with it because that if you play the Spider-Man game, it's a very similar character. But yeah, I mean, I think a big thing here is now that we're getting the Phase 4 Dark Universe of things. We have the Quantumania, we have the Spider-Man No Way Home, we've got Doctor Strange is going to be featuring fucking Wanda Maximoff. Like that is huge. And now you throw in vampires, and we're going to throw in Blade eventually. So we got a whole lot of shit going on. I'm not upset with it. I think this is the correct direction. If you wanted to move to the Dark Avengers or something along those lines, or even, we've basically almost set it up at this point with the Hawkeye TV show coming out as a Christmas special, if you want to call it that. The Young Avengers. You say you hate it?
I hate it. I hate the fact that it.
No, come on, hot take. Let's hear it.
No, I hate the fact that it's a Christmas.
It's not. It's just set around Christmas.
I don't know, man. It's like Die Hard, man.
It's a classic Die Hard.
It's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie at that point. It's what it is. It's a Christmas movie.
It's going to be a TV series, though. So that's the thing, though. It is set around Christmas. They set it up to be funny in that regard, as far as the trailer goes, because it's set at Christmas time. But I think it's going to be a lot darker than that. It's not a movie. It's a TV series.
I get what you're saying, but okay, so it's a Christmas TV series. It's a Christmas TV series.
I mean, as long as it's not like a Hallmark movie, I'm cool. I don't
could
need,
be.
Yeah, I don't need Hawkeye falling in love with someone and he wears
Hawkeye
a green
is
sweater.
the family, man.
Yeah, she wears a red sweater and everyone's happily ever after because Santa Claus. Like, that's exactly every Hallmark movie ever. But I'm totally down for I actually want to see how Hawkeye shakes out, because he is essentially like one of the last parts of the Young Avengers. He's training the last Young Avenger. We have Stature. We have either Iron Lad or Iron Heart. That Iron Heart's going to be coming out as a TV series. We've got everybody at this point. Christ. But, it's all of these characters are set up to play those characters, and I'm ready for more. I'm just hungry at this point. Marvel has made it an almost insatiable like bloodlust for more content. Now that I mean, we finished Titans, so we can even talk about that at some point. But I just need more. I want
Titans
more.
Was DC.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm done with Titans. We finished What If. We finished all of the shows that were currently out that were like, oh my god, this is crazy. They're comic related, and now everything's a fucking lull. And now I need more shit to watch. And Christ, there can only be so many crazy oddball shows like Squid Games on fucking Netflix.
Which was it was an underrated great
Squid Games?
series,
Oh, this is a weird series. I liked it.
You like it?
I liked it. I mean, it's one of those shows that like I wouldn't understand it if there weren't English subtitles. Don't laugh at me. I don't fucking know Korean, you asshole.
I think you would kind of pick it up after like the third day, the third event, the third game. It's like, okay, so they're dying because they can't do the game.
Oh yeah,
so
no, I got the concept of it. Like, do the game right or die. And I like that, but it got like fucking real weird. And then some of the character plot twists in it. Mark, if you got some time that you're willing to throw away, watch it. It's not like one of those shows where you're like, I gotta watch this.
We got time to throw away. Be gone with you.
If you want to be like 10 hours closer to death, that's fine.
Be gone with you.
But yeah, like I don't know. There's a lot of shows out there that like Lock and Key is technically in the comic universe.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Mark, you said you weren't a super big fan of that, but I love it. I love the concept of the show.
I couldn't get into it.
You know who would be a great guest host to that? I'm not gonna lie, it would be my wife. She loved it.
It's a great show. So, John, did you watch season 2 yet?
Of Lock and Key?
Yes.
I haven't watched any of it.
Oh, dude, fucking watch it, dude. Give yourself. That's a show. Like, I mean, they're shorter episodes. I think they're like 35, 40-minute episodes. Just give one episode a watch. And like, if you like one episode, just keep going. If you don't, like Mark wasn't a huge fan. He could get into it. That's fine. But, we got Umbrella Academy that renewed for another season. Lock and Key's up for another season. I mean,
I get into some Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy is fucking great.
I love it. It's so funny,
great
too.
show.
It's such a great show.
Oh,
and there's
I love it.
Like that. I can't wait until the season 3 comes out of that. Like, I really want to dive into that show. I was a huge fan of the comics of Umbrella Academy. John, I know before we actually started recording, you mentioned Invincible. They got slated for another couple seasons, which is fucking amazing.
The Boys
is going to be coming out soon. Like, we got so much content coming up in the near future that we are just going to be bombarding everyone with everything. We've kind of been in a lull for the past, couple months, just trying to scrape up some stuff, but where there is a lot coming up. There's a lot to be said. There's a new Spider-Man game that was released. Well, not released yet, but they released a trailer for it, which is the trilogy of the Spider-Man games for
Which
PlayStation.
features Venom.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm like super excited because I hope it's very similar to that PlayStation 2 game where like you could switch between the characters. Or like I guess
Ooh.
in this
Ooh, that
case,
was a good one. Yeah.
you could like allow the symbiote to take over in mid-fight as like a power-up.
That'd be great.
Like that's fucking badass.
Do you guys remember that Spider-Man when PS3 came out? Spider-Man game?
Yes.
That was,
Actually,
I thought
Which one? There was a couple. There's
The original-
Spider-Man,
the original
There's
one.
like the movie based one.
yeah, the movie-based one.
Yeah, no, that and Spider-Man 2 is like one of the best games like of that era.
Yeah.
Like just the swinging mechanics and everything was so good.
I would just swing the entire time and just jump on whatever building that their bad guys are in the alley and just start beating the crap out of them.
Honestly, yeah, and that's what I loved was like those were like the first games. Like there were Spider-Man games before, but those were like the first ones where like you had to hit a building with your web to swing.
Yes.
You couldn't just like shoot into the sky and
Hope for the best. Yeah.
Jesus
So-
take the wheel.
That was actually so, we've obviously already had an entire Spider-Man game conversation that Jay was completely against, which I don't understand it because this game has the best swinging dynamics ever.
Right.
Like the new one is fucking top notch. John, have you played that yet?
I played it at your house.
Okay.
It was
yeah.
it was great. It was the best part about it is how detailed oriented. Now the other games are also detail oriented, but like when it comes down to the graphics and everything of that game, how I remember going up to New York and it literally looks like you can pick out the bridges in freaking Staten Island and everything like that. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
you
and that's
can-
the big thing for me is like you said, it's detail. Obviously, there are fake buildings that exist only in the Marvel universe, but even still, like
Yes.
those are real standing buildings somewhere. Like in New York, they just refaced them for Marvel.
right.
So it's fucking awesome. Like I love that ideal that they're just getting more and more detailed with these games. And again, if Venom plays well in this third fucking Spider-Man game, it is going to be the top of the list, hands down. Like Miles Morales is
yeah.
fucking dope. I love the concept of having different spider powers. You can be invisible. You have the electric shock. That plays really well into it. But now having Venom, like, what are the powers going to be? Is it going to be like that fucking game Prototype where you're basically just like launching yourself from building to building and a giant fucking tentacle thing comes out and you can like string yourself along? That'd be fucking cool as shit.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm ready for all of the new content coming out. Star Wars, Mandalorian season 3,
Book of Boba Fett.
Book of fucking Boba Fett. That's gonna be dope.
That trailer was fucking
Oh, that was beautiful. Ahsoka Tano, that TV series, Obi-Wan.
Kenobi.
Yeah, like, oh my fucking god, so much shit coming out.
Are they coming out with Inhumans?
They did that already. Marvel? That's
Yeah,
on Hulu.
Marvel already did Inhumans.
I thought they
Hulu,
were
right?
doing it for what's it called, a movie, but they did it for a TV show.
Yeah, not the
I mean, they
greatest.
did a TV show. They might be doing a new movie, like because that'd be a
That's it.
good way to introduce mutants too. Would be to do the Inhumans.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, I still don't
Okay.
know the difference between Inhumans and mutants, really, but
Marvel planned a 2018 Inhumans as part of Phase 3, but eventually got scrapped.
so they didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, wait. So Avengers 5, whatever the Avengers 5 movie is, Captain Marvel 2. It's in that era that they would be getting something similar to the Inhumans.
That's what I mean. Like I'm looking at a quote unquote like timeline right now. It has like Black Widows, Eternals, Inhumans, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, which we already saw, Black Panther 2.
Speaking
which-
of Eternals, that comes out this fucking week.
dude, I'm hearing it's a garbage wash.
I want to see it regardless.
No, yes, I want to see it too, but I think people are saying it's a garbage wash because it makes sense. You pick an older cast, right? At that point, because they're Eternals.
right.
So Angelina Jolie, you got the two actors from
Game of Thrones.
I think
and
there's
then-
3 of them.
Is there 3 of them in there?
I think so. There's definitely Rob Stark and Jon Snow.
Yes, there's
And
them
then
too.
I feel like there's one more that I'm forgetting.
Let's see, Eternals.
But here's my thing with it. Like, I think people just give it a bad review because, like, I was
It
talking
is.
about this at your house the one night, Steve. Like, I just don't think people know who they are.
And I think that's a huge deal. They didn't do enough like prerequisite, like bringing them into it, even like post-credit scenes of like who the fuck they might be, so people would be interested. And they
Right.
dropped a full fucking 2.5 hour long movie. I think it was a bad play.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles, like the
Big.
fucking singer guy.
No. Star. No, I'm wrong. I confused him with
Almighty.
another actor.
No, I did
My
hear
bad.
something about Harry Styles being in the MCU at some point, though. I'm not happy with that. We'll touch base on that in
Star
another time.
Fox.
Wait, did you say Star Fox?
That's what is. I'm looking at the Eternals cast right now.
His
Yeah, it
name is
says-
Star Fox, like the video game for the N64.
Yeah,
Get
I
the
said. I thought I'd say it
fuck
too.
out of here.
I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I'm looking at the
Fact
the
check, right?
I am checking this right now.
Steve just became a professional fact checker.
Yes. Hey, look, I wish I could screenshot this to you. Actually,
Selma Hayek, Maya Hughes, no Harry. Oh, Harry Styles is the character Star Fox. Got it. I thought you
Yes.
meant there was a person in the movie that's real life name was just Star and Fox. I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's dope. Also, can we just like talk real quick about like Angelina Jolie's character just being named Thena, like
Mhm.
Athena, but without the
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty much.
I love it. I fucking love
yeah.
it. Cersei, that's pretty fucking close to Game of Thrones there.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, I love the concept. Again, I'm not against this, the ideal of there being this god sense and godlike characters in the MCU. That's not something unheard of. I do think like we all know who Galactus is, whether you know about Galactus or not. You like if you showed someone a picture of fucking Galactus, the giant purple guy with horns, you've probably seen a picture of him at some point in your life if you've ever touched a comic book.
Yes.
Right.
But these characters, like, I don't fucking know these characters from anybody. And you're telling me they've been here all along, and now all of a sudden they're like, well, I mean, it's time to go do some shit.
Hold on. How many characters in the MC universe got introduced and nobody knew about them?
I'm not saying nobody knew about them, but like, I at least knew who the fucking Avengers were.
Yes.
And like that
Are
worked
you
out.
talking about the Eternals themselves?
I'm
Okay.
talking about the Eternal, like, oh, I'm not talking about these fucking actors and actresses. Like, these are all pretty well known people. Like Selma Hayek, are you fucking kidding me? She's
Yeah.
huge. Angelina Jolie, huge. Kumail Nanjiani, who was in fucking a ton of different shows. He's a comedian, he's a great dude. Like Harry Styles, obviously we fucking know who that, Kit Harington. These are all big name people. Like, this is a huge star-studded cast. My problem is the Eternals are fucking virtually unknown.
Yes.
And when it comes down to it, like, I'm not saying that nobody could sit down and give me a, shot for shot of like what each one of these people does, but I have to do my fucking research prior to going to the movie theater. Or at least
Mhm.
I want to like know what the fuck's going on. Like, all right, cool. Angelina Jolie has a gold staff that she can make appear out of thin air. Okay, cool.
Rob Stark is Superman.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, what does that mean for me? What does this character do for the dynamic of the universe? Because like, if they don't ever show up again, then you're fucking useless. It's just a filler movie. I hate to say it, it's kind of like what Black Widow was.
I haven't even watched it yet because I just I could literally click on it anytime. I really
So,
can.
The only I loved it. I loved it for the fact that it was like a buddy cop type movie with her and her sister, but like,
Literally, that whole purpose was just to set up the
Set up-
post-credit scene.
yep, the
Like,
post credit.
okay.
If you posted the
Literally-
post credit scene at like Comic Con or something, I would have been cool with that. Like, don't even fucking make
Honestly-
the movie, just the post credit scene.
John, you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
Yes.
Okay, then just fuck the movie. Just go watch the post-credit scene. That's all you need.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I liked
Just know,
Falcon and Winter Soldier. I did like it.
just know the blonde chick is Scarlett Johansson's like sister. That's
Yeah,
all you
so-
need to know for the post-credit scene, and you're golden.
Yeah, she's gonna become part of the Dark Avengers, right?
Yes,
That's what they're setting
supposed to
everything
be.
up for.
I mean, that's
Or the
one.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah, say that's one theory. The Thunderbolts, Thunderbolt Ross with the fucking Red Hulk, right?
He becomes Red Hulk. Yeah.
Oh, that'd
Because
be cool.
they've mentioned his multiple bypasses. So like now he's had his multiple surgeries, and that's sort of what gets him into the gamma radiation to try to recreate the Hulk, so he can save himself from dying. That's how he becomes Red Hulk, and whatever. Continue. But I mean, we got Armor Wars. We have fucking Don Cheadle coming back. That's gonna be dope as shit. That's War Machine. Like, that's huge. Iron Heart. We have so much stuff. So much stuff. We got a lot of shit to unpack in 2022.
So
The
happy
fact
to
that
do
you
it.
told me that Red Hulk is the okay. Now I gotta watch it. Now I definitely gotta watch it.
Well, I mean, you
The
don't.
red, yeah, you don't see the Red Hulk, but they like make reference to him existing or
Now, do
soon
you
to
know
be
who-
existing.
You guys know who they're you mentioned who they were actually casting as Red Hulk, right? The general? Is that where
Yeah.
they were? Yeah.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
Oh yeah.
I am so far behind. You guys are watching. I need to like binge all. You guys are gonna have to give me a list. I'm just gonna have to binge it.
Yeah, you're welcome to come over whenever you want. We'll fucking sit down, we'll get some food, and we'll go at it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
But yeah, we can definitely do that. Mark, you're obviously invited.
No,
so yeah.
Mark, you stay home.
Ski guys, I'm going.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff coming up. We're coming to the end of the year. We'll be in 2022 very soon, within the next 8 weeks. So there's a lot to catch up on. There's a lot to pitch forward and sort of get ready for. I mean, what are you guys looking forward to most coming out of the end of this year?
Oh boy.
Everything released at DC Fandom.
Yes, we're doing an entire episode on that. Fuck it. We'll hit everything. We'll hit it all. John?
Oh boy. God, I mean, they're all. I don't know. I do like that Morbius trailer, but that doesn't come out until probably the beginning of next year.
Yeah, that's going to be 2022. But I mean, it's something to look forward to. I mean, it's huge. I think my biggest thing for the end of this year, besides the DC Fandom stuff,
Spider-Man. It's got to be Spider-Man.
without a fucking doubt. That is
Doctor Strange.
Oh, I mean, I'm here for Doctor Strange too. Don't get me wrong. I think because there's been so much hype behind Spider-Man, and the fact that they referred to it as like Spider-Man Endgame,
Yeah,
that's fucking huge.
like this might be the last that we ever see of original of
Tom
ever
Holland.
good Tom Holland, and the fact that we're bringing the Spideyverse in. I mean, at that point, like you kind of
Yeah.
complete Spider-Man. You
Oh
complete
yes,
it.
yeah.
Like, don't go back to Spider-Man. Just move on.
No, honestly, what you do is you play the smart game. What you do is you use the Spider. If this is going to be the end of like
Tom Holland.
Peter Parker, I'll say Peter Parker because we don't know if we're going to get Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire too. But like you could end the Peter Parker character, introduce Miles Morales, and
Could
then
do that.
continue doing Spider-Man with Miles Morales.
That's what
Yeah,
I think
you
they
could.
should do, because
And then
Sony's like animated Spider-Verse movie was a fucking hit.
right.
Let
I
that
did enjoy
be the
that.
next iteration, because again, you could even play it like Miles Morales is existing in the same universe, and he sort of gets his powers towards the end of this movie, and then that sort of quick turns it into it leads into
That
the
leads
next
into
fucking,
your origin movie.
and that's
You
what I'm
get
saying. Like,
his origin, and then you just carry on from there.
How awesome would that be, though? That they would actually introduce Miles Morales in this Spider-Man. Like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, that'll be like the big hit. Like, oh, there they are. But then they're like, oh, Miles, we're gonna just throw Miles Morales in there too, just to spice it up even more.
that's very spicy. I'm here. I'm ready to eat that fucking hot sauce. Let's go. As far as the Marvel shit that we got going on, I think that's pretty much all I've got covered. Like I said, we're going to be doing a big DC reveal episode coming up. So, you guys got anything else for me?
Well,
No.
since I just finished the series, I'm gonna tack on the Invincibles. I know you guys already had your show with the Invincible. I'm sorry, but I just finished the series, and I gotta say, when I first started this series, I was like, oh, animated, like it's gonna be another just superhero, PC. No, it gave me
Nope.
the exact reaction that the boys did when I first saw the first episode. And I was like, oh my God, I'm watching this. This is great.
It got
This is
fucking
awesome.
violent.
Real quick.
I mean, Omni-Man just going to town on the Guardians of the Globe.
And that's just episode 1. Are you
and-
done both seasons?
am I
Or
done
no,
with that?
there's one season, right?
There's one season. Yeah. If there's another season, I'd be like, I'm out of here. I'm going to turn it on right now.
Well, look at what he does to his own son. Calls his wife a fucking pet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, gotta keep that to myself. Anyway, but I was talking to a guy at work about this, and he's a huge fan actually of the comics version of it. So I'm going to start watching the comics or read the comics. He was like, that whole season is just a blip in the first comic, apparently.
Yep.
So, like I said, you guys already had this. So,
But yeah,
I'd just like to say-
when the new seasons come out, you're in. Let's go. Tag in. Let's fucking talk it.
yeah. So, but yeah, I thought it was a great first season. I thought the shock value definitely was amazing, and I look forward to watching more seasons of that as well. And as a true curious guy that wants to know who would win what, you always got to go to the Google and be like, Omni-Man, and see how powerful Omni-Man is to certain characters.
Oh yeah,
And
Omni-Man's a bad motherfucker.
he's up there. He's up there.
Yep.
For some reason, Omni-Man versus Homelander came up, and they're like, "Yeah, you just get completely destroyed." I was like, "Well, yeah, I thought Omni-Man would destroy Homelander anyway, because Homelander just goes up against people that are weaker than him. Omni-Man doesn't care who he goes up against.
Omni-Man is God. He
Yeah.
really fucking is.
Guy's just a freaking brute." So that's my tack on it. I know that I'm not going to go too far into it since you guys already had a episode on that. So
All right. Well,
but that was good.
all right, cool. Well, then let's wrap this up and we'll start getting things ready for the DC fandom.
Yeah.
All right. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening. You can find us on our social medias at Something Super Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, at SS Podcast 52 on Twitter, and on every single one of your streaming platforms. Please search us Something Super Podcast. Lastly, I'm Steve,
I'm Mark.
And I'm John.
and we'll see you guys in a week.